Afternoon. And as you know, this broadcast is live on Love 101, the family station celebrating 30 years, giving the wind a mighty voice. You are listening to Love 101 FM, the number one gospel station in the nation. The program today is brought to you by the kind sponsorship of Fosridge Company Limited, our lighting, solar, and electrical people who are doing great things. Thank you, Fosridge. I'm Pastor Courtney Morrison, and it is the 16th of February. This is the year 2023, and it is good to be here with you, serving you as we've been doing for the past 10 years. This will make 11 years uninterrupted. Kevin, good afternoon. How you doing? I'm Courtney Morrison. Well, yes, sir, boss. Missed you for the last 2 weeks.
Good afternoon. Courtney, great to be back here, and especially in this wonderful sunshine country, Jamaica, land we love. So it's great to be here, and good job doing the work. But it'll be an exciting program. You are doing fine because we have some interesting guests here as well. So, we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love FM Jamaica. Don't forget, we need to hear from you today. Leave your comments via our WhatsApp line, 876-997-3125, or give us a call on our studio lines at 876-968. We have the favorite folder. We have job mail and much more. So you're
Yes, Kevin. And so today's program is entitled Valentine's Gifts. This is the post-Valentine's edition of the mailbox. Should men receive two? Not just one, but two. I'm just joking. Should men receive gifts as well as the ladies do? Is it an all-woman's affair? Who knows? Should men be in red and white? We want to know. Special guests for today are in the form of Clyde Christie, Chandre Cowans, and Oral Lawson, and we will hear from them today. Indeed, it is promising to be a great program, and as such, we are ready to be with you. We're going to take a break and come right back here on the mailbox. It's Love 101 celebrating 30 years.
Man, I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man, I am a
February is Reggae Month, and Love 101 is joining the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JAREA, with the celebration of sweet Jamaican gospel music on Sundays. All music Jamaican. Yup, folks, it's Reggae Sundays for the month of February as we celebrate our Jamaican gospel artists. Salute them, the man. Come clap your hands to the various sounds of Jamaican gospel music. It's Reggae Sundays, all music Jamaican. Every Sunday in the month of February. Reggae Sundays is on the family station, Love 101.
When you say Fosrich, you say electrical, SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
Hey, Get ready for an uplifting time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer. This Thursday, February 16, 5:30 a.m. is Becoming You, a feature that shares tips on how to become the best version of who you are. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with Morning Coffee Pick Me Up devotional at 6 a.m. Then at 7 a.m., we bring you the Morning Watch with intriguing and thought-provoking discussions. 8:40 a.m. inside How Do You React, we talk about how regular day-to-day situations can be a little bit awkward. We continue to share more about our person of the week as we celebrate Black History Month. 9:30 a.m. is Voice of Power, brought to you by the Power of Faith Ministries. Stick and stay with us. This Take Me Back Thursday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the Family Station. Love 101.
A spiritual start to your morning. I am a man, I am a man, I am a man.
Welcome back to the mailbox here, February 16, 2023. We're celebrating 30 years on Love 101, the number one gospel station. Indeed, it was a good time at Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center on Sunday gone, as we were all treated to an exciting message by Bishop Harold Blair. And indeed, we were toasted by the Love 101 FM chorale, led by Jekyll Dyer and Latifah Reed, with Dr. Nadine Blair accompanying and Dr. Joan Pickney, among others such as Katia Davis, Lady Neva Martin. It was an exciting time and we did enjoy it, and the celebration continued yesterday. So welcome back to the mailbox. This is Courtney Morrison, and we had a very good time last week, and yesterday we did a program called The Rock as well, sitting in for Pastor Steve Errol Blair Jr., and we spoke to Ruth and Boaz, and the love story continues today in that sense as we do this post-Valentine's Day program on the mailbox. Should men receive gifts too on Valentine's Day? But before we get into that, we want to look into our favorite folders. It's a time when it's neither right nor wrong, we do say. Sometimes we just try to reason it out. So let's open up and see what is inside favorite folders this week. Kevin, what's inside our favorite folders today? I seem to have been on my own a bit there. Seems as if technically something is wrong with Kevin. So inside our favorite folders today, we have men who worship. Men who worship. And just want to read a little bit for you. It says, a male blogger wrote, I feel it is time for men of the body to take a more proactive role when it comes to worship. Hear my heart. We as men need to move past our own comfort zone and move from men who attend worship and become men who worship. The Lord reminded me, he says, that he calls us as a royal priesthood, 1 Peter 2:9. This designation is for all his children. However, I want to look at what this means specifically for men. The responsibility of a priest in the Bible was to help usher people into the presence of God. As a priest, it is our responsibility to bring the people around us into the presence of God. I feel like far too often men are simply satisfied with leading the people around us, even our families, into a church building. Being a priest is so much more than leading people into a building, but it is leading people, our families, into the very presence of God. Are men generally natural worshiper, or growth is needed and more men need to step up into this area of life? He asks. What say you, listeners? How do you view worship as a man? What say our guests? And we want to hear from them. So we invite Oral Lawson, Chandra Cowan, and Clyde Radical Chris Christie to help us with this one, the male blogger, Men Who Worship. He says men generally lead people to the building, their families as well, but when it comes on to leading them into the presence and giving worship, men seem to be more of spectators than they are actually leaders. And as such, he says it's time that we don't only become men who attend church, but men who worship. We want to find out, and I want to start with Sir Cowan, because You are the ones this afternoon that will help me with this very favorite folders topic. I start with Sean, then go on to Oral, and then hear Sir Christy. What sayest you?
All right, let me start by saying happy 30th to the Love 101 family.
Thank
And
you.
definitely, I totally agree on that, where men have really been behind the shadows as it regards to worship in the church. And I think one of the reasons is probably because we are less on the emotion, because a lot of times we don't think it takes emotions to worship, but a lot of times we capture worship through our emotions and emoting. So men, and the stigmatization of how men should react also, I think, affects men worshiping. But I believe it is really important for our men to worship in church, because I think young people especially look up to our men, what our men are doing. Yes, women, there's an expectation of women to be in certain fears and to be doing certain things. But when you see a man doing it, it carries a different realm for young people, different realm for women, and it draws the attention of persons um in church. So I think worship is important for men in church.
Thank you, Chandra Cohen. Sir Lawson, your perspective here. We want to hear yours.
All right, so pleasant afternoon, everyone. Bless the Lord. To God be the glory.
Yeah.
My background is not the best, but I am pushing through. Now, worship is a very important aspect to the life of a believer, the life of a disciple. And the role that men play is a very, very significant one. Now, I am a musician, and I can say to you that there are times that even as a musician, we are the ones supporting the person's leading praise and worship, and we're not there. If you get what I mean, we're there, but we're not there. We're doing all the things musically, but we're not connected in our spirit to worship in spirit and in truth. So definitely, this is an area that I think needs further discussion. I think we definitely have to dig deeper into it, because I think even the leaders, I mean, the leaders, the bishops, the pastors, they have a certain perspective, a certain purview about who worships or leads people into worship in the best way. I think most times when you check out the praise and worship teams and the leaders of the teams, you find that there's a lady leading, and sometimes you might find a young man or a man backing up, but many times that's not the case. Well, that wasn't the case for me. Fortunately, I was guided into how to go into worship, how to lead people into worship. And today, that is one of my strong suits. I love worship. I'm a worshiper. And because I'm a worshiper, I was able to select a worshiper to marry to. So, definitely, this is grounds for some more discussion.
Thank you very much. That was Oral Lawson. Kev, welcome back.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Greetings, gentlemen. Great to be with you. Welcome, welcome to the program. Yes, yes, Courtney. Did you go through
So,
all the brethren to share their perspective on worship? I wanted
it's
to.
Clyde. It's Clyde's turn to respond. It's Clyde's turn.
Okay,
Men who are worshippers, and we read a little bit from a male blogger. So we want to hear Clyde's perspective now.
okay.
All right, blessed evening, Pastor Courtney. Sir Kevin, are you hearing me okay? Yes, are you?
I'm not hearing you. Is it my end here?
Go ahead, Clyde. We're listening.
Okay. So I'm saying blessed evening. I'm just hoping that you all hearing me okay. And to all you guys on the panel, you're hearing me okay. Just not ahead if that's the case. Yes, man. So blessed evening, everyone. And congrats again on the 30th year with Love 101. So, with regards to worship, I'm a worshiper first. And why I believe this is quite important is foundation-wise. When the Lord created men, there was a significant thing that took place. You know, the Bible said that Adam walked with God. So it suggested that Adam was first and foremost a worshiper. So if we're if our foundation is around worship, then we can go beyond the basics. The basics is critical going forward. And as a matter of fact, even as we delve more into the topic today, we see some things, some key things with Adam. Not only was he a worshiper, which is suggested by him walking with God, but it also suggests the level of intimacy. It is a knowing term because walking with him suggested that he was praying and all them kind of stuff. So even though worship is that foundation aspect, at the end of the day, God himself even created us for the whole purpose of worship. So it is crucial in every walk of life. The fact that it is foundational means we can't really go beyond it, And to the point where part of man's assignment is accomplished, we see where he was not just a worshiper, but that worship led him to something else. We see God creating an atmosphere for the man, where he allowed him to till the ground. So man was not just a worshiper, but some things give common sense. He was also a worker, And not only a worker, but he also had wisdom because the fact that he could name all the creatures and so on, and that was their name from them. So worship embodies a whole lot of things. And when you find a man that is a worshiper, you'll find someone who is passionate, And I have had my own experiences in worship. Some moments which is overwhelming. But at the end of the day, it's that closeness with God, that relationship with God that matters, and it is foundational even as it pertains to relationships going forward. So that's a little of my take on it.
Courtney, just to ask a question of the three gentlemen. Um, Persons often think of worship as confined to a certain environment and space and time. So it's in the church building and not a way of life, not being obedient to the Holy Spirit, not being obedient to God. So a person can live a life, apart from recognizing the authority of God in all the other areas of life. But when it comes to a Sunday morning or a specific time, then we get into a worship mode, and that that can send just some bad signals to how we witness to others. But just your feel on that. Yeah, what's your take on that, gentlemen? Is, is that oral?
Chandra, feel free to start
Yes.
answering. Gentlemen, I want to add with Kevin and say we brandish that term worshipers about the place. What does that really mean? As Kevin said, is it confined to church? What is it a lifestyle? Let us hear.
All right, let me hit it. So definitely, and um, worship is definitely not a place, because when we look at worship throughout the Bible, worship was in all spheres. It was in every environment. As Clyde started, worship started with Adam, where even in the midst of the garden, he was walking with God. He was having fellowship. He was worshiping God. It was a lifestyle that he lived. And we see different people throughout the Bible when they were, when God flooded the earth and Noah came out, the first act of reverence was worshiping God, was building an altar before God. And the altar has been built inside of us. We carry the altar. We now carry this altar, which means that worship has to be a daily lifestyle. It has to be something that we live, it's something that we do, and it's something that we represent. Because a lot of times we don't see that we are a representation of worship. We're a representation of God's holiness, and that is what He is asking us to represent. He says, "Be thou holy, as I am holy," and that holiness speaks to that worship and that reverence that we should have towards God. So our life should be a worship to God. Everything we do through life should be a worship unto God. So it's definitely not a building, because the building is just a facilitator of corporate togetherness in worship rather than worship itself.
Gentlemen, I don't want us to be linger on this topic. This is just the favorite folders. We have gone way past the time that we should be discussing it before getting into the meat of the matter. So we want to suggest to our producer, sir, We
Hmm.
need to have this one as a topic and jump a little bit more in it, men as worshippers. If Kevin, I really believe we need to. I think
Yeah,
it's something
totally.
that we have to go deeper into and really explore.
Yes.
So we are up on a break, our favorite follow men who are worshippers. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come right back at you. This is the mailbox. Your host Courtney Morrison and Kevin Bailey with you. Men, should they receive Valentine's gift too? We'll come right back.
Na your man, yes. Strong
SWA
man.
cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Maniville, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and spiritual guidance are what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything. Tune in, listen, call in, text, or voice message. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. Right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
I am a man, yes.
Welcome back to the mailbox on Love 101 FM. Man on man. Don't forget, we need to hear from you. This is Kevin Bailey, Courtney Morris in the place, and we have some amazing man, them in the place, amazing gentlemen in the place. So we ask you to leave your feedback on Facebook, YouTube at Love FM Jamaica, our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Guess what? Give us a call on our studio lines. You can ask the man them any question. They're capable of answering it. So 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Man oh man, call them and talk up the things. Courtney.
Yes, Kev, and I believe we should be receiving many calls today from the man, because I don't know if them pocket was short or empty yesterday. I don't know what happened. We want to hear from you. Today's topic is Valentine's gift. It's a post Valentine's show. Should men receive two? And it is TOO, but it can be TWO too as well. Our special guests for today are in the form of guests Clyde Christie, Chandra Collins, and Oral Lawson, and we will hear from them. We don't know who they are exactly, so we want our guests to know who they are. So we in the order of Oral, then Chandra, then Clyde. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you view Valentine's Day. We want to hear. Do you celebrate? Is it something? What? Tell us a little bit about yourself. 2 minutes each. Go ahead. Oral, then Chandra, then Clyde.
All right, so my name is Ora Lawson. I'm a member of the Faith Ministries Church. I'm at Jack's River. It's an apostolic church. I am also an educator and a gospel artist who goes by the name Sweet Boss. Now, Valentine's Day is a day that I celebrate, but I am not watching it so closely again like how I used to. Once upon a time, I would make sure that I get that chocolate and that rose, and I'm talking about the real roses, not the artificial ones. I tried to get that real rose for my love interest, but today I've been put in a little corner, backed up somewhat because I am now married, and yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I didn't get any gift. But I can say that it was still a well spent day. We didn't do any exchanging of gifts whatsoever. My wife didn't give and I didn't give, but we spent the day together with her son, and that made it very, very awesome. But I definitely think that men are deserving of a gift as well. Love is something which requires a level of reciprocity. If I call, you should be able to call. If I text, you should be able to text. If I gift, you should be able to gift as well. Those are my two bits.
I'm wondering
Bless
there
your
with
oral.
Oral Courtney. Even though they didn't exchange gifts, they exchange time, their very presence of being with each other, which sometimes is more invaluable than other form of gifts. You are very present there with each other and with the family, and that's huge. So, yes, thank you. Who is going next?
All right, I'll take it. So my name is Chandra Cohen. I attend the Fresh Bread Ministries International in Montego Bay. I'm also a singer, songwriter, gospel recording artist, and yeah, someone who loves the Lord. And do I believe Valentine's Day should be celebrated? I believe in love. So whatever celebrates love, go for it. It's all about love. That's what it's about for me. It's about at any point. And these are days that generally people celebrate. And let us not fool ourselves that our women, our wives, and woman to your husbands don't recognize everybody else being celebrated out there. So why not just decide to celebrate them? It's not necessarily the day and the perception of the day that we all hear about, but it's really about celebrating and acknowledging a love on a day that everybody has chosen to acknowledge the day. So yes, I do believe if you're for it, go for it. Celebrate. You know, I send my recognition. If I need to give, I give. Whatever I need to do to make that special one feel loved, you do that, and I'm in for it wholeheartedly. So yes, men going to it. Men should receive two. I agree, Courtney. Men should not receive one, but we should receive two.
Thank you very much, Andre. Clyde, we're up on you. Let's hear from you. Your mic is muted. Yes, it's unmuted now. Go ahead.
I trust you hear me clearer now. All right, so the name is, you hear me clear, right? Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay,
please. Thanks.
wonderful. All right, so the name Clyde Christie, Radical Chris as a gospel recording artist, songwriter, singer, and all them stuff. No, I'm a married man. I've been married. This year is making my 14th year, and of course, I have two wonderful children. One turning 12, my daughter turning 12 this year, as well as my son in just a few days will be 9. All right. No, yes, I'm a part of the New Covenant Ministries International. All right. No, Valentine's, it's not, for me, it's not just a case of do I believe in it or is it a case that I don't believe in it. As I hear Sandra is saying, it is about the theme, right? And the theme of Valentine is love. I know some people have their hiccups with a lot of things. It's just like Christmas. Some people say, boy, Christmas is a pagan thing. But the truth of the matter is that even though we know that Christmas is not necessarily Jesus' birthday, the fact is he was born. So if there is a day given to celebrate him, why not use it? You know. So my thing around Valentine is it is important, especially if it is important to the wife. Guess what? A happy life is a happy life, And the way the foundation of our union started with her, showing with gifts. So if that is my foundation, and I'm not by any means generalizing this, because at the end of the day, it comes down to one's love language. We must live with our spouse according to knowledge. You know certain things as you grow and you develop, and no one marriage is tailor-made for everybody. It's as you grow into marriage that you learn some stuff. So a point that Oral said is about reciprocation and so on. Yes, it is important because love demands that you give. Again, foundationally, Christ set an example. God set an example. For God so loved the world that He gave. So if God sets that kind of example where love is concerned, if You love 365 days a year, yes, but just like Mother's Day, just like Father's Day, just like all the other days, if this one is special and this is what embodies love, then by all means give gifts, And I do believe, of course, that just as though I would be sweetening up my wife and ensure that she's nice and giving gifts and so on, then it's good for me to get gifts too, and I can tell you such a good plan that because gift is also a perception. Gift also means present. It's how some things are presented. And every time money devote, and every time some things is there, but we are creative and she do some stuff with at the end of the day, I can say me enjoy it and me appreciate the gift in whatever is presented. So men should receive gift on Valentine's Day. It comes down again to perception. Yes, man.
Well
Thank
said.
you very
Well
much,
said, I
Clyde.
believe. Yeah. I
Hey,
want
Kev,
to
we're up on
find out.
another break. When we come back, we'll hear more from these three gentlemen. We heard from Aura, Chandra, and Clyde a bit about themselves, a bit about Valentine's Day. We're coming back to find out if they believe men should receive gift too. This is a program designed for men, hosted by men with guests who are men. It happens every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. here on Love 101, the family station. I'm Courtney Morrison, and with me is Kevin Bailey. We're taking a break. We come right back after these messages.
Integrity man, I am a man. Hey man, I am a man, I am a man, I am a man. Yes.
Yay! Get ready for an uplifting time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer. This Thursday, February 16, 5:30 a.m. is Becoming You, a feature that shares tips on how to become the best version of who you are. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with Morning Coffee Pick Me Up devotional at 6 a.m. Then at 7 a.m., we bring you the Morning Watch with intriguing and thought-provoking discussions. 8:40 a.m. inside How Do You React, we talk about how regular day-to-day situations can be a little bit awkward. We continue to share more about our person of the week as we celebrate Black History Month. 9:30 a.m. is Voice of Power, brought to you by the Power of Faith Ministries. Stick and stay with us. This Take Me Back Thursday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station. Love 101.
A spiritual start to your morning.
SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Vanderbilt, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
Hello there. This and every Thursday at 6:50 p.m., listen out as Sultan Townsend shares and connects persons with needs to those who want to help. And if you can help, then please be sure to call the team at Hello Neighbor at 876-334-8165 or email helloneighbor@yahoo.com. That's Hello Neighbor. This and every Thursday at 6:50 p.m. Hello Neighbor, giving what we can to help those we can. It's the Hello Neighbor way, the Bible way. It's all live on the family station, Love 101, the number one gospel station in the nation.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man. Yes. Strong man.
Welcome back to the mailbox. This is Love 101 FM, your family station, and Courtney Morrison, Kevin Bailey in the place. But we have some great gentlemen who have been having stimulating conversation, getting their perspective on Valentine's Day and receiving of gifts. And I think I want to get a perspective, gentlemen, on the importance of receiving gifts from your end. Is it important that you receive gifts from your special person? And why? What is the significance of that? I know, for instance, there are men whose their love language is receiving of gifts or giving of gifts, but there are others who it might be words of affirmation or acts of service, etc. But from your perspective, is it a big thing for you? Say so on Valentine's Day, you'd receive something tangible, something special. What is the significance of that? Gentlemen, don't forget your perspective on that.
Okay, so for me, my love language is different. I consider myself a bit strange because I would like to touch, but that's not my only way of expressing my love. I don't get a lot of gifts. I don't give gifts a whole lot. But maybe it's like if it's like her birthday or the anniversary, I'll make an extra effort. But it's not an every month thing for me. My love language is doing things around the house, helping out with the washing, helping out with the dishes, helping out with the keeping the house clean and straight. Doing the bed and making the bed and that kind of thing. So for me, if I don't get a gift, it doesn't really affect me much. If I get that help though, that tangible help, like, oh, honey, you're going to be writing a lesson plan. Can I help you to edit, or can I help you to read over? Can I help you with this? Yeah, definitely. Of course. Give me some acts of service. Iron two shirt and iron two pants. Yeah, man, you can save the gift for the birthday. I didn't have to be nothing too big either.
Alright.
I love that oral. I really, really do love that because a gift doesn't have to come gift wrapped or packaged in wrapping paper. It can be an act of service, really, and I'm sure you'll feel appreciated. Anyone else? Kevin asked the importance of receiving gifts, gentlemen. Your love language. We want to hear from you. Chandra, go ahead.
Of course, and I think Clyde had touched on a point that said it is based on your understanding of each other and what is your love language. And we talk about that love language thing. So is it important for men to receive gifts too? Yes, I believe for me personally, it is important. um at any point. And we learned tonight that gifts isn't just only that tangible, oh, I put it in a gift wrap, I have it in a gift bag with this nice little tissue paper on it, because that may not be meaningful, but it might be the thing that's inside, or it might just be what you do to show that love. For me, I'm not so much a gift person either. I mean, you could give me I'm a foodie, so if you cook up a storm, give me, we call it a night. You get some lobster, and we all cook it together. I'll cook it with you. you know, that's my love language. Food any day. Um, but if you buy me a gift, I will appreciate it, because it's not the gift. It's not what's in the package. It's not even the package. It is the thought. And a lot of times we say it's the thought that counts, and we take it as just a cliche saying. But the thought is to say, person that I'm interested, or that person I'm married to, I love you, and I'm expressing my love to you through this action. You know, Abraham had to do that sacrifice. He was to give his son, his only begotten son. It was not because of the package, it was not because of the presentation. It was really in a show of, I love you and I'm all for you. I will give it all for you. And that's the purpose of love. That the love is saying, I'm giving all to you. I will sacrifice for you. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're giving, it should be an act of sacrifice. And that's for me, um, getting gifts. Yeah.
Mm. Big words, that Courtney. Big words, and interesting comments, gentlemen.
Yes.
We still have one more perspective that we need to get right. Is he still here?
Yes, Clyde. We just heard from Chandra and we also heard from Oral. We want to hear from Clyde. I love this perspective that Chandra just shared because even our love gift didn't come gift wrapped. It came in a stable. It came in a loaded state. But one thing about gifts is
Yeah.
that not only should you appreciate gifts, but gifts also make you feel appreciated. Clyde, are you there? We want to hear your perspective here. Your mic is muted in case you're hearing
All
us.
right.
There you go.
Yes, my apologies. So I'm not sure if you guys can hear me.
It's muted again. Not sure what's happening there technically. You have to unmute again, Clyde. Somehow your device is muting you. All righty then. It
Yes.
seems like Clyde is having some technical difficulties there. This happens sometimes, and
It,
we just you get past it.
All
Ah,
right.
he's
Yes, men
unmuted
of
again.
God.
Go
So
ahead,
I
Clyde.
heard some of it. You hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
All right, so I just had to come backstage on a different device as I'm having some challenges. But I just want to continue with what I was saying. You know, I didn't hear the question good. My phone was going out and everything, but and I trust it's on the same part of what I was speaking about earlier about receiving gifts and so on. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. I
Yes. All
wanted
right.
to know
So what
from
I
her
want to say is,
perspective,
the whole
why is
idea
it
of gift
important to you?
is
What's
of
the
gifting
significance of gift
is
receiving?
it's quite important because we saw that with the foundation and God just did this thing, and so love demands that you give. It is important to receive as well as to give. But an important little point I want to make is that the whole giving aspect of it, it's not so much for the sake of just to get back, but giving also to grow. All right, I trust. Thank you very much. All right, but giving also to grow. So there are times when giving has to be presented in different ways. I was
We seem
mentioning
to have
earlier. It's
lost Clyde again there for a bit. Ah, there you are.
all right. You hear me all right? Good. Yeah, man. Apologies for all of this connectivity issue,
We're
but it's
hearing
one
you
of them.
now. Go ahead.
Wonderful. You're seeing me as well. All right. Wonderful. All right. So, and I
Yes, we
appreciate
are.
that. Wonderful. So, love language is important, as I was making mention of. All right. Now, we receive the greatest gift, and that is the gift of love. And we understand that there will be times when compromises have to happen. All right. Now, there are might be a thought then, and I know all of us have expressed that we do share the sentiments with regards to love and giving and receiving and reciprocation and so on. But something just crossed my mind. What about the individual who does not look on things the way that we view it, who have not had our kind of experience in terms of Valentine's Day, and because every man really think about Valentine's the same way. So look at it and say, boy, this is a little fool something. It's a woman thing, this.
Yes.
But what about these guys? So, and this is one of the reasons I'm saying you can't really generalize because it comes down to love language. If this is what works for you, then it's what works for you. But as I was making mention, even before me and my wife started out, she was already. Father's Day never come in the picture yet because she was the one who would have made me that eventually. But every single moment that was important, or considered important, so to speak, she would ensure that I receive something. So if I'm getting this from the foundation stage, then it suggests that this is a part of our love language, that these things are important. So I believe and then I said gifting and giving is also on the basis of perception too. Because some of us men might believe, say, boy, because I'm macho and I don't believe in this Valentine things, you don't realize that you're getting a gift sometimes, and it's just a matter of the presentation. There's gifting of the time. Sometimes it's the time that the woman spend with you. Sometimes it's a special kind of food that she prepare and the way she prepare it. Sometimes she do some stuff and she makes sure, say, there are some days when me know say the man love this, and she ensures you get them kind of stuff there. And not to mention the thing where sometimes you can appear 1 million different ways, but some rap that they give the boy is fireworks. So just to say the word gift it comes down to presentation. It is important for women to receive it, but if you don't present it properly, then
We didn't seem to have heard that last part. I don't know if I'm the only one extra.
Yes,
You might
I
got
think he's muted again.
no, it's not muted. It's just not bringing any sound. Clyde, watch the sound because we're not hearing it.
And I believe what he had said was so important. That the presentation, that men may have been receiving gifts all along on Valentine's Day without recognition that they are receiving, presentation, men probably present with teddy bears and chocolates and roses. They may have been preparing a meal. They may have been other things. Just as when Jesus gave himself to the world, the wise men came and brought gifts to him. So when we consider Jesus as the Christians' Valentine's Day gift, we still have gifts to give, our praise, our offering, our blessing. Gentlemen, we're up on another time signal and a time break. So we're going to take this break. We're going to come right back for our final segment. This is the mailbox, and we're celebrating with love 30 years. While mailbox is celebrating 11 years this year. Kevin, we're going well. We come right back after this break. This is the mailbox. Come right back.
Integrity man, I am
SWA
a
cables,
man.
conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Manival, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes. Strong.
Welcome back. Not hearing Kevin. Have we lost sound, or is it only me?
I'm hearing you. I'm not hearing Kevin though.
Anyone else
You're
hearing
clear.
Kevin? Or
Not hearing Kevin, but hearing you
Kevin,
and hearing
speak again. We
Chandra.
weren't hearing you. Kevin, speak again. No, we're definitely not hearing Kevin. So we're saying welcome back to the program here, the Mailbox, a program designed for men, hosted by men with guests who are men. Please remember, you can call us at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. We want to hear if you believe that men should receive Valentine gifts. You may send us a text message at 876-997-3125. Valentine's gift. Should men receive them too? We want to go into a little area that sometimes is difficult to go in. It's called the junk mail. And today, inside the junk mail, it says men who indulge in underage relationships. And we want to hear perspective. We just want to spend about 5 minutes on this. Men who indulge in underage relationship. Kevin, this is quite interesting. Yesterday on the Rock, we spoke to Ruth and Boaz, and Boaz was about 80 years older than Ruth. So I had to ask the question: if women who are older than men are called cougars, what are men who are older than women called? And we're looking at this one that says men who indulge in underage relationship. The girl is, if you divide his age by 2 and you still can't get her age. We want to hear your thought on this for the next couple of minutes. Come on, let's start with you, Chandra.
All right. So definitely we hear all the time age is just a number, or is it? um and no, what I would say, it's such a strong poison. It's really a junk meal. What do we describe as underage? Is it underage in terms of me being 40, she being 26, a mature lady? Or are we talking about a grown man dating a girl who is in high school? You know, which is something that we see very prevalent out there. For me, as it regards to age, I don't think there is an issue with age, but there are principles of where it lies. Like these men who decide to look at these young underage children, who really, girls who really don't know their direction. They don't have any direction going. They should be focusing on their schoolwork. They should be focusing on even friendships, but we have brought them into an adult life. Um, no, and we grow them up so fast, and that is why our society is losing direction, because it's not about the age in the instance, but it's about the principle of where the line draws. Are you bringing these young
All right. Well,
children?
one of the things, Chandra, and
Yes.
probably Clyde wants out, we seem to be dropping sound. We seem to be dropping sound sometime. We're talking about persons under 18. I got a note that we're talking about girls who are under 18, just as you were alluding to at the end there, Chandra. Clyde, would you want to come in for a minute or so as we move along? Men who indulge in underage relationship. I guess it's the age of consent that matters here. Kev, you with us? We seem to be experiencing some amount of technical difficulties. We're not hearing our co-host nor some of the guests.
Check, check, one, two, three. You mentioned that women who date younger women are called
Kevin, we
cougars.
seem not to be hearing you. We're hearing Oral. Are we hearing Clyde? All righty. Let's take a couple of messages from our online personnel, but indeed we're talking about underage as in under 18 years old, under the age of consent. And we're saying, men, and that's how we do it. We say, I jump mail that. You being involved with a young lady that is under the age of consent is totally unlawful and it is not to be practiced. Stop the practice now. Boss man, I jump mail that. We go to our reply all. We're seeing who have anything to say to us on our social media platform. And we see one here. Sir Derval, I think you are the one in studio. The Lord Almighty said, to me, it depends on the love language of a person receiving. But yes, I believe both and women and men should be celebrated with gifts. And Delana says, my wife gave me several gifts. Kudos, Mrs. Mighty. Most assuredly, men should get Valentine's gifts. Love is not a one-way street. Most assuredly, men should get Valentine's gift. Love is not a one-way street. He repeats it for emphasis.
Emphasize.
Our men are coming out today and saying, we want justice.
Yes, definitely, Courtney. And I'm thinking that it's time that we realize that our men are human beings and we too can appreciate receiving gifts. I believe also that we need to communicate clearly to our loved ones the gifts that we appreciate because sometimes they might be given the wrong thing, assuming that this is what we want. So, how do we work on that communication? Because I've heard it said, ladies say, my man, my husband, my boyfriend is complex. I don't know what he really wants from me. So help us there. How do we communicate to our wives, our girlfriend, etc.? What is it that we need from them in a way that is not confrontational, but makes it easy for them to meet the needs? Talk to us, gentlemen.
All right, I'll hit
Who's
it.
going there?
Are you guys hearing me? You guys hearing me?
Sure.
Yes, we are, Chandra. Go ahead.
All right. So, um, how do we communicate this? It's I think two ways is communicating it. One, saying it, and two, showing it. A lot of times, we don't even think we can just simply we think of it in a complex way. We have to have them guess and no, just say it. Simple put. Say, babe, I love this that you gave to me. But you know what I would love on this fine Sunday afternoon? Some garlic buttered lobster cooked up with some creamy mashed potato. You know what I mean? And and that's it. Just say it. Say it. Show it. And I'm sure she will understand it.
Chandra, you have proven your point.
Thank
You
you.
are
No,
definitely
very
a
well.
foodie. You proven it's true. The way to his heart is through his stomach.
And he's
Hey, Kev, we have
communicating
one
that
response
clearly.
from our WhatsApp. It says, uh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying
He's
that he's
communicating clear, but I
communicating.
love what he says. Two ways of it, showing it and saying it.
Definitely, because we're not mind readers. Our ladies are not mind readers. Yeah, let me hear the perspective. There is that Clyde. Clyde, how do we communicate that to our loved ones, our needs, so that they don't have to guess and spell? What will make it easier for them to know exactly this is what you need from me in the gift in giving you and meeting your needs? How do we do that as men? Am I the only one not hearing?
We're getting no sound from Clyde. We're getting no. So let's take this WhatsApp message. It says, "I always give my man gifts." This is from a lady. It does not have to be any special occasion. I see something nice, I get it for him. On special days like his birthday, his father, etc., I gift him. And I'm sure that means Valentine's Day is no different. Thank you very much for sharing. And I'm sure, again, your gentleman will feel appreciated and affirmed. Um, when Chandra was speaking, sometimes as well, it's nice to communicate, as said, because some men are just tired of ties and shirts and socks. And so they wouldn't mind something else. So it's for your gentleman to communicate quite effectively without putting the gift down and not wearing it for a year if it's a shirt by saying something. You, Kev?
Of
As the
course,
time
of
is
course.
getting up on us, gentlemen.
I
Why?
wonder if
And I guess the
gentlemen
men's
could share.
expectation of gifts are not supposed to be nocturnal gifts either.
Say that again, Courtney.
So, no man, the men's expectation after some time giving Valentine's Day gift is a surprise a little late. But indeed, we just need to be careful that we ensure that, as I believe Oral said, we have lost Oral Lawson, that always something that should be reciprocated and not a one-way street. And that's the vision that we have today, that it should be reciprocated. Love, Valentine's Day, every day, love should be given, and also one that should be reciprocated. It makes both parties feel acknowledged, appreciated, and affirmed. Those are the three things that as human beings we really look towards. It makes us feel secure and protected. Kevin.
Yes, I love gentlemen. Almost time. Few seconds. A final comment on this business of men receiving gifts. Your final comments, gentlemen.
I
Clyde,
will
you want to
say,
go or is it? Yeah.
all right, so I'll say, guys, listeners, I'm just love. Whatever you do, just don't stop loving, and any way you can show love and give that representation of love, give it. It doesn't matter of a day, it doesn't matter of a situation. It doesn't have to be a situation. Any day, just a simple text, just a simple word of encouragement. Find out from your partner what they really want and present that to them. And that's how you will show love. That's my few cents.
Thank you, Dre. Clyde, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, any final word?
Clyde, are you hearing?
We seem not to be able to get through to Clyde. There you go. 10 seconds, Clyde. We're definitely not getting any sound from Clyde.
Uh,
We're not sure what is happening, but today we seem to have experienced some technical difficulties. So we want to
Yeah.
thank our guests for being here with us. We want to leave you with this quote. It says, "It is easier to take than to give. It's nobler to give than to take. The thrill of taking lasts a day. The thrill of giving lasts a lifetime." This was said by Joan Markey. And indeed, Kev,
Yes, thanks to our producer, Fabian Bernard, to Timoy Butler for technical support, our very wonderful guest, and to you, our listeners, to our sponsor, Fosrich Company Limited. For information on how to get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-9597 or download the podcast via our mobile app, Love 101 FM. I'm Kevin Bailey.
and I'm Courtney Morrison. Listen again next week for another mailbox on the family station, the number one gospel station in the nation, Love 101 FM, celebrating 30 years, giving the wind a mighty voice. Next week, one day. Bless up.